A massive leap in conventional deterrence. Islamabad has officially announced the upcoming test of the Fatah-5 Guided Multiple Launch Rocket System, GMLRS. Unlike its predecessors, the Fatah-5 boasts a formidable range of 1,000 kilometers, effectively bridging the gap between rocket artillery and ballistic missiles. Defense sources confirm the system is designed for deep strike capability, allowing the Pakistan Army to target hostile logistics hubs and airbases far behind enemy lines with pinpoint precision, without resorting to strategic assets. In a groundbreaking financial move, the Ministry of Finance has signed a strategic partnership with World Liberty Financial, a cryptocurrency venture directly linked to the Trump family. The deal focuses on integrating the firm's $1 stablecoin into Pakistan's cross-border payment architecture. Officials state this pilot program aims to streamline remittance inflows and modernize the banking sector, marking one of the first instances of a sovereign state formally adopting a Trump-affiliated digital asset for national financial operations. A major policy shift at the ports. The federal government has formally authorized the re-export of thousands of stranded Afghan transit trade containers. Contrary to a complete ban, the Ministry of Commerce has granted a one-time waiver allowing importers to send goods stuck at Karachi and Gwadar back to their countries of origin or other international ports. This decision comes as border closures have left over 6,500 containers stranded, creating a logistical nightmare. Relations with Dhaka continue to warm as Pakistan Ordnance Factories, POF, signs a strategic munitions pact with the Bangladesh Armed Forces. The agreement covers the immediate supply of 155mm artillery shells, small arms ammunition, and anti-tank explosives. This consumables-focused deal is seen as a critical stopgap for Bangladesh, replenishing stockpiles that have depleted over the last 2 years, while securing a steady revenue stream for Pakistan's defense industry. From Gwadar to Washington, this is Pact Geo-Defense Update, Pakistan's voice in the world of defense and geopolitics. Please subscribe. We begin the in-depth coverage with the full scope of Pakistan's defense export ambitions. The Ministry of Defense Production has unveiled a staggering $13 billion export pipeline targeted for execution by 2028. The breakdown reveals massive pending contracts, a $6 billion deal with Saudi Arabia for JF-17 Block 3 jets and drones, a $4 billion comprehensive package for Libya involving tanks and naval vessels, and significant orders from Azerbaijan and Sudan. Analysts call this a structural shift in the economy. If realized, these defense exports would eclipse the textile sector's growth contribution, effectively turning the military-industrial complex into the country's second-largest foreign currency earner. The government is treating this as a national emergency priority, streamlining export licenses to ensure delivery timelines are met. A significant geostrategic realignment is visible in the Gulf. Reports confirm that US and UK military personnel are withdrawing from key sections of the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. While officially termed a force posture adjustment, defense observers link this to the de-escalation of permanent Western footprints in the region following recent diplomatic breakthroughs. Flights carrying equipment and non-essential staff have been tracked departing for bases in Europe, and Diego Garcia. This drawdown signals a transition towards over-the-horizon counterterrorism capabilities rather than forward-deployed garrisons, leaving regional security increasingly in the hands of local heavyweights like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan. A historic standoff in the Arctic. European military forces have begun deploying to Greenland in a direct signal of solidarity with Denmark. Following the collapse of high-level talks in Washington between Danish officials and the Trump administration regarding the status of the island, the first contingent of European troops has touched down in Nuuk. The deployment involves personnel from Germany, France, Norway, and Sweden, who are establishing a forward reconnaissance presence at the invitation of the Danish government. While officially categorized as a joint exercise to bolster Arctic security, defense analysts view this as a strategic tripwire against President Trump's repeated calls to acquire the territory for U.S. national security. Turning to the diplomatic fallout in the Persian Gulf, New Zealand has officially shut its embassy in Iran. Wellington cited an untenable security environment and the inability to guarantee staff safety amidst ongoing civil unrest and communication blackouts. All diplomatic personnel have been evacuated to Ankara, Turkey. This closure serves as a bellwether for Western diplomatic presence. New Zealand is often seen as a neutral player, and its exit suggests that intelligence agencies expect a prolonged period of instability or potential regime collapse in Tehran. The move isolates Iran further, severing one of its few remaining back channels to the Western world. In the most consequential story of the hour, highly placed sources confirm that Pakistan has formally extended its nuclear deterrent to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. While not a transfer of weapons, this extended deterrence doctrine declares that any nuclear threat to Saudi sovereignty will be treated as a threat to Pakistan itself, triggering a retaliatory response. This policy mirrors the U.S. nuclear umbrella over Japan and South Korea. The declaration changes the calculus of the entire Middle East, effectively making Saudi Arabia a de facto nuclear power without it having to test a bomb. It acts as a massive check against regional adversaries and solidifies the Pakistan-Saudi axis as the dominant military bloc in the Muslim world. Tensions on the Indus have reached a boiling point. A new report confirms that India has officially greenlit the Dulasty Stage 2 hydropower project on the Chenab River, a move that Islamabad is calling a direct violation of the Indus Waters Treaty. This approval comes just weeks after India placed the treaty in abeyance following the Pahalgam terror attack, effectively suspending the 60-year-old water-sharing pact. According to a risk assessment by the US-based Eurasia Group, India is now weaponizing water by fast-tracking a cluster of upstream dams, including Kiru, Rattle, and now Dulasty 2, with strict deadlines set for 2026. The report warns that New Delhi is shifting from mere energy generation to strategic flow control, aiming to leverage water security as a non-kinetic tool against Pakistan. Pakistan's Commissioner for Indus Waters has rejected India's suspension of the treaty as illegal under international law, warning that any unilateral reduction in river flow will be considered an act of war. With the Permanent Court of Arbitration ruling that treaty obligations remain binding, the stage is set for a high-stakes legal and diplomatic showdown before the summer melt begins. That's enough for today. Share your thoughts in comments section, and please answer today's question.